Welcome to another video session on Visual BI extensions. This time we will take a look how you can use the Facet filter for data explorations. So here we are, where you can see a Facet filter on the top and a chart at the bottom. Every single click in the Facet filter will automatically filter the chart accordingly to those settings that you chose in the Facet filter. The Facet filter automatically acts as a cascading filter. As you can see, every single click in the country column is automatically filtering the region to those regions that are relevant for the selected countries. The same happens with all the other dimensions that are part of the Facet filter. Any click in a dimension facet will automatically filter all the other dimensions down to those entries that match the filter criteria. As you can see, each of the facet also has what it's called an all member, which allows you to actually remove any of the selected values and display all of them. Here, for example, shown for the distribution channel. So now let's go to the next step and take a look how this can be done in Design Studio. Here we are in our Design Studio project, and first of all let's take a look at the data sources. We have one data source with several dimensions and several measures which we're going to assign to our Facet filter. We have a second data source which shows the values by month, and that's the data source we're going to use as a target data source. So now we're going to remove the Facet filter and quickly add a new Facet filter and show the configuration steps. So we're going to add a new Facet filter and quickly configure the size and the position. And as the next step, after we configured all the margins and the placement, we will first of all assign our first data source to the Facet filter. Automatically, the Facet filter will show all the measures and all the dimensions from the data source. As the next step, we will go in and assign the target data source for filtering. All what we have to do is enter the technical name of the target data source, in our case DS_2. Then we will move to the layout design of the Facet filter, and as you can see, each of the facets has their own properties, and we can configure the type of display, which values will be displayed, the height, the width, and how it's being sorted. For example, if we wanted to hide the measure selection, all we have to do is uncheck the visible property and the measures disappear, or we check it again and they are back in the facets. For all the other dimensions, we have very similar configuration options. We can choose if we want to see the text, the key, or both. We can choose between different control options, for example, a checkbox. And we can also decide if we want to use a search, what's the title is, and if we even want to include the dimension. If we wanted to, for example, hide the dimension distribution channel, all we have to do is scroll down to the dimension settings and uncheck the option visible. And then you can see that dimension is not part of the facet anymore, or we can simply bring it back. So these are all the configurations we did. So now let's take a look how the Facet filter already behaves as part of our project. So we're executing our dashboard, and as you can see, we already have a working Facet filter, filtering the dimensions in a cascading way, offering different display options, offering things such as an all member, and we can now filter and explore the data in our project. I hope I was able to interest you in our Facet filter component for data exploration, and in case you're interested, feel free to register for a trial on our website. I would like to say thank you for listening to me, and in case you have any further question, feel free to reach out to me.